Zoe, welcome to Brighton Hove Albion. How does it feel to officially start at the club?
Yeah, it's really exciting. Everyone's been really lovely since I first started, and it's been sort of a long few months sort of waiting to get going, but it's been a brilliant few days.
You'd mentioned there it has been a long period since your announcement and to now starting. Is that just you kind of ready to kick on with the role?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had a good few months to be able to process and think about things that I want to try and bring to the role as well. So I think actually the time's been really useful. Being able to obviously have a look at the team, have a look at things that have been going really well for Brighton currently. So yeah, the time's really helped.
And tell us a bit about you and your experience in this industry.
Yeah, so obviously I've been at Sheffield United now. Will have been my 5th season that I've been with them. So I've got a lot of experience off field in terms of like the business side of things and the operations. Previous to that, I've always been on the grass. So I've been a head coach and I've been a technical director in the women's game. So I feel like coming into a role as a managing director, I've got a lot of experience both on and off field, which hopefully I'll be able to utilise moving forwards.
And obviously coming from Sheffield, how did you know that this was the right move for you in transition at this stage in your career?
Yeah, I think it was always going to take something really special to pull me away from Sheffield. It's been a club that I've really enjoyed being at. But I think as soon as I met with both the Pauls and Rose and Michelle, it was definitely a no-brainer for me. It was definitely somewhere that was really exciting challenge, where the club's wanting to go. The standards that they set, the professionalism, it was a no-brainer for me to want to take quite a big move and a transition for myself.
And coming from Lancashire and now down to the south coast, is that sort of a culture you're really excited to embrace?
Yeah, and it's something that's going to be really exciting for me personally, and I've never lived outside of Lancashire. I definitely am from the north, that's for sure, but it's something that I'm ready to embrace, and I think it'll be a really good change for me in my personal life.
And it's a really exciting period for the women's department at the club just now, with Jens coming in and new signings as well. Is that sort of a really exciting period for you and a fresh start for you to be joining at this period in time?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to working with Jens, and it seems like he's settled in really well himself, and I think it's, like you said, it's an exciting time for the club, and I think to have such two core roles at the club changing at the same time can only really be a positive thing, and hopefully we can implement some change and be successful moving forwards.
And for you coming in, what are some of the key goals that you want to achieve with the rest of the team at the club?
Yeah, ultimately the main vision I want to try and achieve is getting the club to be top 4 in the WSL. There's a lot of work that needs to be done off the field to make sure that happens, and there's also a lot of work that needs to be done on field, which Jens has already started there. And it's going to be a really exciting time going into the summer and looking to progress for next season in terms of things that we can implement together collectively on and off field to try and achieve that top 4 vision.
You'd said that it was going to take something special for you to leave Sheffield. Do you feel like the club's values really resonate with yours on a personal level as well?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's one thing having the values, but actually living and breathing those values is really important, and that's definitely something that everybody at Brighton Hove Albion do, and I've seen that even in my first couple of days here. Everybody definitely does do that. I think I've never walked into a club and met as many lovely people as what I've met, and how everyone cares for the women's game, wants to progress the women's game, seeing the facilities and how everything's inclusive with the men's and the academy and the women's team has been really brilliant, really exciting.
And talking about the facilities as well, particularly for the women's department, it really does exceed expectations and excel. Is that for you just another reason behind how much investment the club are putting behind the women's game?
Yeah, absolutely, and it definitely gives the players the platform to go and perform. There's no excuses when they've got these facilities to come into every day. It's definitely, in my opinion, the best in the women's game in terms of what they've got, and they should relish that opportunity, and it should really, really help them to put in the performances that are desired to achieve that top 4 vision.
And this is the first time at the club that your role is now being named managing director. For you, does that just further emphasise the club's intent to progress the women's game?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it professionalises it like the men's side. And like you say, I think it's a real key sign of the investment that the club are willing to make to try and progress the women's team.